Okay, let's dive into this one. Imagine you're out there, deep in the woods, part of a survey team, totally unexplored territory,
Right.
and you stumble across footprints. Barefoot, human, fresh.
Okay. Unusual, but maybe explainable at first?
Maybe, but then you realize they're coming out of the untouched forest leading towards you.
Ah,
Oh,
okay. That's immediately weird. That's what James Whitaker's team found back in 1909, right? In the Sononati Core.
exactly. And that initial, strangeness, it just got worse, much worse.
Yeah, because the story goes, they started following these tracks, and the realization must have just been awful.
The tracks perfectly mirrored their own stride, like someone was walking backwards precisely in their footsteps.
Just retracing their path, but in
Yeah.
reverse. That's incredibly creepy.
And then the blood, steaming blood apparently, found inside the prints their own boots had just made.
Yeah, you can picture the panic. They just ran, didn't they? Left everything.
Totally. And the team that went back later, what they found, it's pure nightmare fuel. Whitaker's compass jammed into a tree.
Violently, yeah.
His boots just standing there upright, filled with like coagulated blood.
Grim. And the message.
Yeah, the carving on the tree. It learns how you walk.
Chilling. Just sets up this whole terrifying mystery. What is this thing?
Exactly. So that's our deep dive today.
Yeah.
We're looking at the encounters, the legends, the research, trying to piece together this very unsettling pattern for you, the listener.
Where do we start? The old stories.
Let's start there. The Tharu people, they have legends, right?
Oh.
About something called Ultapera.
Yeah, the backwards stepper.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is how closely the legend matches Whitaker's story. They talk about a shapeshifter,
Okay.
but its main thing, its whole focus is studying how humans move. It's not just a monster. It's described as like an observer, a student of walking.
A student. That's almost worse. And the legends mention blood in the shoes.
Welcome gifts, they apparently call it. A sort of dark calling card.
Hmm.
It suggests real intent, calculation.
Not just random violence.
Exactly. And tied into that is this idea that it collects walking styles.
Collects them. What does that even mean?
Well, the lore suggests, maybe controversially, that the more unique your gait, the longer you might actually survive.
So being distinctive buys you time because it's harder to learn.
That seems to be the implication. Like a unique walk is a tougher puzzle for it to figure out, so it needs more time to, study.
That's a really disturbing thought. Your own walk making you a target. There's that story too, isn't there? About
Yeah.
the tracker.
Well, yeah, the tribal elders tell that one. This tracker, he decided to follow the backward prints, kept at it for 3 days straight.
Okay, brave or foolish?
Well, the outcome was horrific. On the 4th day, they found him. He was walking backward, but on all fours.
What?
His spine was completely twisted, broken, and supposedly his last words were, it needed practice.
Oh my God. Practice as if it was using him.
To perfect its mimicry. It really speaks to this relentless learning process, doesn't it? Even if it's grotesque.
Absolutely grotesque. And this isn't just ancient history, is it? There are modern accounts.
Oh, yeah. Take Arjun Mehta, the wildlife photographer back in 2015. He actually documented his experience, or, parts of it.
Through his photos, what did they show?
It's this escalation again. Day 1, he finds backward tracks, maybe 50 meters away from his camp, leading towards it.
Okay. Initial contact, observation.
Seems like it. Then, day 2, the footprints are much closer. They're circling his tent.
Getting bolder.
And weirder. The print size had changed. They were smaller, matching his 8-year-old nephew's shoe size.
Wait, what? Why?
Who knows? Maybe studying different gaits, maybe some kind of psychological thing. It suggests this awful adaptability, though.
Definitely unsettling. Did he capture anything else?
His tripod camera did. Left running at night. It caught something.
Dang.
A figure crouched down, limbs all twisted, unnatural looking.
Or it was?
Like it was trying to copy a human posture, maybe. Practicing. Just like the
What?
tracker story.
Wow. And the aftermath for Mehta. It was bad, wasn't it?
Really bad. They found his camera's memory card, but it was melted, fused into the shape of a footprint.
No way. Seriously.
Seriously. And then your shoes. 2 right shoes, side by side. 1 adult size, 1 child size. Both filled with blood.
Jesus. That confirms the collection idea almost. Moving from just watching to something else.
It really seems to fit the pattern, horrifyingly. And this kind of stuff led to, more formal investigation. A research team in 2021 tried to look at it scientifically.
Focused on the actual footprints.
Yeah, the physical evidence, they made plaster casts.
And what did they find?
The structure, the arch and all that look human-like. but the pressure points were completely reversed.
Reversed, so not just someone walking backward.
Doesn't seem like it.
Right.
It suggests the biomechanics are fundamentally different, like how weight is distributed is just inverted.
Okay, that's weird. What else?
The blood analysis. This is maybe the grimmest part. They took samples from blood found in some of these prints,
Oh, God, don't tell me.
the DNA. It matched 37 different missing persons from that region over the years.
37 people found in the footprints.
Essentially, yes, it paints a really dark picture of what happens when this thing collects a gait.
Yeah, no kidding. Any other weird science findings?
One more thing, thermal imaging. They scanned the footprints shortly after they were discovered.
And they were hot.
Yeah, generating heat, like something had just been there even though nothing was visible. They
Yeah.
weren't old prints. They were fresh, active somehow.
Like an invisible presence leaving warm tracks.
Get my skin is crawling now.
Understandable. The title of their final report really says it all. A predator that studies its prey.
Stark, accurate, it sounds like. It's not about strength, it's about information, observation, imitation.
Exactly. And looking at all these accounts, you can sort of piece together a potential life cycle, can't you?
Yeah, it seems to follow stages. First, there's the observation phase. Tracks appear, but far off. It's just watching, learning your walk.
Then comes the mimicry stage. The prints get closer, and crucially, they start to match your specific stride, your pattern. It's personal now. Not just generic backward steps, it's your steps, reversed
That's creepy.
deeply. And then comes the phase everyone dreads, the collection event.
Finding blood in your shoes. The sign you've been chosen, learned.
Seems that way. The point where the study is complete, perhaps. And then the final stage, replacement.
That's based on the survivor accounts, right? The few who say they saw themselves.
Exactly. Seeing their own double, walking backward, disappearing into the jungle. The idea being the entity has mastered their walk so perfectly it can now replicate them.
It's gone, replaced by a backward walking copy. Okay, so if someone actually encounters these tracks, is there anything they can do? Any advice, however strange?
Well, based on survivor stories and bits of the lore, there are a few suggested actions. Do's and don'ts, if you will.
Okay, give us the do's first. What might help?
First, walk sideways. Immediately. Don't walk forward or backward normally.
Sideways. Why?
The idea is it disrupts the learning process. It can't study your normal forward gait if you're crab walking away from it. Break the pattern. Makes sense in a weird way. Okay, what else?
Leave a trail of salt. This pops out quite a bit.
Salt, like table salt.
Seems so. The belief is it messes with the entity's ability to, like, track your specific signature. Maybe a sensory thing we don't get.
Okay, sideways walking, salt trail. Anything else?
Change your footwear immediately. Get your shoes off, put on different ones if you have them, or even go barefoot maybe. The focus seems to be on the shoe prints it's learning.
Right, because Whitaker's boots were filled with blood. It's tracking the shoes. Got it. So those are the do's. What about the don'ts? What absolutely not to do?
Number one, pretty obviously, do not follow the backward prints. That's just walking towards the source. Bad idea.
Right. Seems obvious, but panic can make you do strange things. Okay, don't follow. What else?
Don't sleep with your shoes on.
Why not?
The lore suggests nighttime is when it might interact with the shoes. Practice. Get a feel for them while you're vulnerable. It's unclear, but strongly advised against.
The idea of something messing with your shoes while you sleep. Okay, one more don't.
Yeah, this was really odd. Don't look directly at your own shadow at noon.
At noon specifically, why?
When your shadow is shortest, directly beneath you. The belief, the superstition, is that the entity can somehow step into your shadow then.
Inside your shadow. To what? Get a better look.
Gain a deeper understanding of your movement from, like, the inside out. It's very esoteric, but it comes up repeatedly.
Wow. Okay, so recap. Do walk sideways, leave salt, change shoes, don't follow prints, sleep with shoes on, or stare at your noon shadow. Bizarre survival guide.
For bizarre threat.
Mm-hmm.
And the really unsettling part, it might be getting weirder, evolving.
How so? What's been happening recently?
Well, in 2022, reports started coming in of backward tracks appearing, but upside down, on tree trunks.
Upside down? On trees? How is that even possible?
Exactly. It suggests it's not bound by normal ground movement anymore. A whole new level of wrongness.
That's profoundly disturbing, and it didn't stop there.
Nope. 2023, there was this incredibly creepy incident. A survivor claimed their Fitbit, fitness tracker.
Yeah.
It recorded their own heartbeat, their unique cardiac rhythm. But the signal was apparently emanating from a set of fresh backward footprints they found.
Wait, their heartbeat? Coming from the tracks? How?
No idea. It implies a connection way beyond just watching someone walk, like a resonant link
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
surreal.
Surreal is right. That's deeply, deeply weird. Has there been anything since then?
2024. This might be the most disturbing recent one. Rangers stumbled upon a perfect circle made of shoes. Just discarded shoes in a circle.
Okay. Weird, but maybe explainable.
Every single pair was filled to the brim with fresh blood.
Oh, come on. A whole circle of them.
A whole circle. It feels less like hunting and more like
All right.
ritual,
Collection.
a statement.
Like it's cataloging its victims or trophies. I don't even know.
Nobody does. Which brings us to a final thought. A little something for our listeners to chew on.
Go on. Leave us feeling nice and comfortable.
So imagine this. You wake up, maybe you're camping, maybe somewhere else, and you hear it or see them, wet footprints leading out of your tent or your room. Just pray.
Yeah.
Pray really hard that those footprints are still facing forward.
Because...
Because the backward stepper, well,
Yeah.
it takes its time with the slow learners.